T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
The Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr.,
Amen Thompson,
Jabari for three and the win.
What it do, H-Town, what it do? On today's rundown, the Houston Texans defense came up big in the clutch. They played fast, they played physical, and they played furious.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal a show.
And also on today's rundown, Tank Dell carted off with an ankle injury. Man, I hope that's not serious. And last but not least, and I know it sounds cliche, but the Houston Texans played complimentary football. They needed all three phases of this football team to sneak out this win against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. H-Town, get your listening ears ready, strap up your boots, and let's go. Welcome back, H-Town, welcome back. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend a few minutes here with your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TB, on everything H-Town Sports Debate Show, and I appreciate you guys. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please don't forget to like and subscribe, and on to the first topic, baby. The Houston Texans defense played lights out. I know in the end and in the second half, they gave up a few things, and they always turn it into a last-minute, one-score type of game.
Took it to the limit.
But for the most part, this team showed its dominance against Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, and they had, I believe, 4 turnovers. I mean, I think Stingley had 2 picks, Ward had a pick. Maybe 3 or 4 turnovers they had on this Denver Broncos offense. Denver Broncos offense looked out of whack. It did not look explosive.
Y'all trash.
If it did not look like it did these previous 5 wins that they had. They only allowed teams to score 22 total points as a defense in the last 5 games, and the Houston Texans only needed 22 points to win. So this was beautiful. Russell Wilson was running for his life because Will Anderson Jr. balled out.
I'll be back.
Will Anderson Jr., man, had, I believe, a block punt, a sack, and a pressure in the first quarter. And I mean, it was still like 10 minutes left in the first quarter. This guy was a beast. He was dominant. He was on his job, and he looked like this year's 3rd overall pick. And he looked like a guy, that should have been the 3rd overall pick. And he looked like he showed the reason why the Houston Texans traded all this draft capital to move up and get him along with C.J. Stroud. This guy looked like a beast. And if you give him a little more time and a little more seasoning in the NFL, I believe he's going to be a sack leader eventually. But Derek Stingley Jr., last year's 3rd overall pick, it was lovely. I mean, this guy was smooth as butter, baby. This boy was everywhere. This dude was baiting Russell Wilson, and he was getting these INTs, and he looked beautiful doing it. He looked like the dude from LSU when they won that national championship, and I'm so excited for the boy. He's been dealing with injuries. I had big hopes for him, but then he kind of had me like, man, Stingley, man, are you going to be injury prone? But he balled out. He showed why he's that big, physical, fast. He can make up speed even when he's beat. Stingley is a baller, and he played lights out. This defensive line, not only Will Anderson, but all those guys on there, Sheldon Rankins, Malik Collins, they had Russell Wilson under constant pressure. Jonathan Gennard had a sack as well. The back end played pretty good. Like I stated earlier, Jimmy Ward got the game-winning INT. So this team balled out. They gave up a few plays. They gave up another big chunk play over Ward and Petrie, but for the most part, the defense played dominant. The offense started off great. They kind of got stagnant in the second half, and they kind of been doing that these last 2 games, even against Jacksonville. So I'm like, dude, the Houston Texans offense going to have to find a way to come back out, halftime, bringing the juice and ready to score some points and put these teams away, because I cannot live through another one-score game with the last second on the clock to try to make a play or try to make something happen to get the W, H-Town. H-Town, it's a sad day in H-Town to start this segment off with an injury by Tank Dell trying to block, getting mushed up. They fell on his ankle. The dude got hurt trying to block. He shouldn't have been in the play. Tank Dell, you're an offensive weapon and we need you. But I feel bad for the guy. He's been having an extraordinary rookie season. I mean, it's been great out there. He is a weapon that we cannot afford to lose. But we have a lot of other weapons that will step up, you know, the next guy up. But I'm praying for Tank Dell. I hope it's nothing serious. I hope it's just something you can put him in the boot. He sit out for a couple weeks and he's ready for the playoff run in 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm hoping all is well with Tank Dell. But my guy got his ankle rolled up. It looked bad because it had a pile of guys laying on top of it. And it looked horrible. But I hope you get well soon, Tank Dell, because we need you. If not, man, lay back. Get your surgery, get whatever you need done to it, man, and be ready for next year, because we're going to add a lot of more pieces to this team. But if you're ready to go in a few weeks, come on back, because we're going to need you for this playoff run, because the Houston Texans did just that and got back out of the hunt and into like the 7th seed, I believe. And if Pittsburgh lose, they might move up to like the 6th seed. So I'm loving what the Houston Texans doing. We fight. Nico Collins. The boy balled out. He was lights out. He had like 120 yards before halftime. I mean, he was all over the field. I mean, just burning guys, jumping over guys, leaving guys, catching hands catches. Nobody catches, no nothing. Nico Collins looked like a physical #1 receiver, and he balled out there. And I'm loving what him and C.J. Stroud is doing, this connection that they have, as well as the connection that C.J. Stroud had with Tank Dell. But he was out, so Nico Collins stepped up big. Let me look at a couple stats right here. Look at the box score right now with C.J. Stroud was 16 of 27 for 274 yards, 1 touchdown, no INTs, for a QBR of 115.90. He had an okay game. It was a pretty good game, but he was under a lot of duress. He had to spin out of things. It looked like on a quarterback sneak, he got knocked out. It looked like he was going ahead into the concussion protocol, but they took him in the tent. He came back the next play after Davis Mills got a good connection with Nico Collins. I mean, these guys played well. They played well, but they were stagnant in the second half, and we're going to have to do something about that. We're going to have to come up with a little more trick play, something. We're going to have to stop these other teams offensively from adjusting to us. We're going to have to play. We're going to have to play. We're going to have to score. We're going to have to keep being as aggressive as we were in the beginning of the game, because the second half, these defense make their adjustments and they try to slow us down and we get stagnant, H-Town, and that's something we can't do. But as far as the offensive weapons, my boy Tank Dell was carted off. Nico Collins balled out, H-Town. I know, H-Town. I'm about to hit you guys with the biggest sports cliche there is. But the Houston Texans today played complimentary football at all 3 phases of the game. Everybody showed up, from special teams to offense to defense. Everybody played a part and everybody did their thing for us to sneak out this win against the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos were on fire. Their defense showed why they won 5 straight in the second half of this game. So everybody and everyone was needed, and they all came up big and did what they had to do. Frank Ross had the special teams balling. D'Amico Ryans had the defense balling, and Bobby Sloyd did enough to ink out a win against the Denver Broncos defense. He did enough to get wide open shots to Nico Collins. So we did just enough to squeak out a win. The last few weeks have been heart-wrenching and gut-punching and however you want to call it, man. But it's been nail-biting, man. So I'm glad that we was able to squeeze out this win and stay off in the playoff hunt, because now we have a bigger percentage chance of going on a playoff run. The next few games, I wouldn't say easy, because we still have the Cleveland Browns defense and the New York Jets defense. But pretty much we still have we have a lot of winnable games that's left. I believe it's 5 games. So I'm loving what this Houston Texans team did. Derek Stingley, I gotta give you your flowers again, man. You finally doing what we drafted you to do, and you showing why you a lights out cornerback, man. You just see the game on a different level, and I believe if you stay healthy, you're gonna have a lot of INTs to come. Excuse me. But H-Town, it's been real chopping it up with you. I'm your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TB, and peace.
Win, 2, 1, 2.